What's up, guys? Welcome back. This week, we are going to talk about one of our biggest obstacles in life, and that is fear. Are you so busy surviving that you are just not living? What's holding you back? What stops you from your inner peace? These are questions that I ask myself all the time. I'm going to give you today 3 ways to get past your fears and live your best life. And keep listening because I'm going to talk about some of the biggest 3 fears that single women face today. Okay. We're done with fear. Fear keeps us stuck and fear keeps us small. So we're moving forward and we're going to start here today. All right. Number 1, fear is your biggest competitor. I spent years just surviving and not really living. I approached things from a scarcity perspective. Like, oh my God, everything was like panic, panic, panic. What don't I have? How am I going to get through? What am I going to do? I'm a single parent. So making sure I had enough for me, making sure I had enough for my child, it was all causing a tremendous amount of fear. So there are periods where I just remember just trying to survive, survive, survive. And when you get stuck in that cycle, it keeps your world very small, very, very small. And in doing that, you can actually miss out on being present in everyday life, the little things, finding your passion, taking walks, all those things, because you're so worried about not making it or falling short somehow. You're missing the joy that's right in front of you, the joy in the journey. All those fears were holding me back, keeping me stuck in a place of scarcity. And I want to say this. And this is my second point. It's okay to be uncomfortable. And I think a lot of our discomfort gets relabeled as fear. Life's journey is not easy. And when you have goals, you don't get to them quickly. So we can be in an uncomfortable place, but it's okay to be in that place and be uncomfortable, but also celebrate the great things that are going on right now in life and be present and just be patient. Be patient during your journey. Appreciate it. So instead of just surviving, keep living. Do you have obstacles? Do you have some misgivings? Are you a little bit uncomfortable? You're not where you want to be? Sure, that's everybody in different ways, right? But you can find the beauty in discomfort and keep living while you're reaching for that place that you want to be in, while you're reaching for those goals that you want to achieve. So realize that there's a whole world out there. And instead of just surviving while you're uncomfortable, start living and appreciate the journey. I would also say step out on faith. There are no guarantees. So step out on faith. It's hard to see where you're headed or if all the work that you put into something is going to pan out or, amount to something. But we have to keep going. Even if we can't see the result yet, we have to keep building brick by brick. When I was younger, I would have a lot of doubts about whether the things that I was doing and working toward would even amount to something. And the thing is, you're never going to know. You just have to keep building. And then when you get there and you look back, it's an amazing thing because you didn't know. And now look at the result. Don't cheat the journey. Just keep going. So I would definitely say that when you realize that fear is your biggest competitor and you step out on faith, not knowing where you're going to end up, that is the greatest gift, because when you get where you're going, it's such a beautiful, beautiful thing. So I can tell you, living in New York City, there is so much chaos on a daily basis. The in your face lifestyle, everybody's doing everything all at once. It's just insane, right? So you literally have to create your own little bubble and focus on your goals because it's the only way you can survive. You can feel like, honestly, I'm going to tell you the truth. When you live in New York City, you can feel like a whole house is falling on you because there's just so much going on. There's so many distractions and it's easy to feel like, oh my gosh, I just have to get through my day and get home. But in facing that kind of everyday chaos, you can miss out on some of the beautiful things in life. So as a New Yorker, I try to slow my life down a little bit and, kind of walk through life slowly and really appreciate everything. Because honestly, the pace of New York City can make you want to run home and hide, honestly. But I am now, as promised, going to give you 3 of the biggest fears for single women that can possibly hold us back and keep us from growing and appreciating where we are today. Number 1, the biggest fear, I think, is being alone. A lot of people are alone right now that are in relationships and they don't even know it. They're in a relationship on the outside, but they're totally alone. And I have this to say, whether you're married or single, you need to be able to be comfortable in your own skin and be alone. You have to have a rich inner life. You have to have your own thing going on. And when you do that, right, if you are single, the time you are alone is valuable. I have no problem with solitude at all. I find things to do. I like to garden. I like to read. I love to do a lot of different things. I'm actually super encouraged by some of the Gen Zers I've talked to recently. They have been focused on self-love and self-care. They do a way better job of it than us Gen Xers, I would say. But I think it's fantastic. When you focus on being okay in solitude and chasing your passions, the time you spend alone isn't so threatening. The idea of being alone is not so threatening. So if you're a single woman and you fear being alone indefinitely, think of it as more time to step into the best version of yourself, more time to live authentically, more time to discover more about yourself. So if you do connect with someone, if you choose to, you are showing up as the very best version of yourself. Think of it that way. The other fear that single women have is, are you able to chase your true passion? I know for years, many of us have felt like that, we're just doing things just to check the box and not really doing things they love. And I think that's something that when you're single, you have a lot of time to chase your passion. So use that time wisely and do what's best for you. And when the timing is right for you to connect with someone else, you will, if it's meant to be. So don't stop chasing your passion. Go after that passion while you're single. The third thing is the fear that you're not enough because you're not married, or you don't have the perfect white picket fence lifestyle, or you don't have kids. Who decides that you're enough? You decide that you're enough. And don't let that stop you from anything in life. You validate yourself. You don't need all these other things to validate you. You don't need to be married if you don't want to be married. You don't need to have kids if you don't want to have kids. You don't need to live a certain lifestyle if you don't feel comfortable with it. This is your one life. So you are enough today. Live authentically. And on that note, if you love it, share it. All right, guys, meet me right back here next week. And don't forget to hit that follow button and leave a review. And tell all your friends, because the single girls just got the mic.